We've already said that the SAT will penalize you for a wrong answer. And they'll penalize you a quarter point. So this discussion is about when should you take that educated guess. I'm going to give you Straight A Academy's coaching on this now, and we're a little bit different from some of the other organizations that are out there. If we do a mathematical analysis, we can tell that if we're penalized a quarter point, if we take a random guess, because there's A through E, there's 5 options. If we take a random guess, the odds are, math students, 1 out of 5, 0.2, 20%, that you will get the answer correct. And so if we do the first one, we take a random guess, we get it wrong, minus a quarter point. The second one, wrong, quarter point. Third one, wrong, fourth one, wrong. And then on the fifth one, you get it right. What's the net result? That's right. The answer is 4 hours of your life wasted. You get a 0, a net 0, right? So what you need to do is, we need to be very careful about how we approach this. We can't just randomly guess. We want to find that risk-reward balance that's going to be to your best benefit. Some places, like I said, will tell you, well, guess what? If you can eliminate one answer, then you now have 1 in 4 chance, which means if you guess the 1 out of 4, then you're going to get 3 wrong, and then the fourth one you'll get it right. And that net difference is plus 0.25. So there are some places that will tell you, well, you should guess at this point because look at, you could get 0.25. I don't know about you guys, but I still don't like those odds. Statistics don't work that neatly, do they? You ever get, you definitely get these 3 wrong and the fourth one you'll definitely get right. If statistics work that way, I would say go for it. However, you and I both know that's not how it works. Have you ever heard of something called the law of large numbers? Let's explore how this works. If we take a coin, we flip it. What are the odds that it's heads? 50-50. Okay? Let's say you flip the coin 100 times in a row, it's heads. Well, long before we got to 100, I would have checked out the coin to make sure it was a legitimate coin, heads and tails, that it was weighted properly and that it was being flipped not in a prejudicial manner. But it's possible, right, that you could get a run of 50, 60, 100 heads in a row. On the 101st time that you flip that coin, what are the odds that it's heads or tails? Still 50-50, you're right. It's 50-50 no matter, every single time you flip that coin, the odds are 50-50. You may get a run of tails, you may get a run of heads. The law of large numbers says over time there will be a tendency for the heads and tails to balance out to around 50-50. So if you flip that coin a million times, probably 500 some odd thousand times would be heads, and 490 some thousand times would be tails. And it'll never be perfect. It'll never be exactly 50-50. But the law of large numbers says that if you do something enough times, statistically things will tend to balance out. But remember, every single individual time, the odds are against you. If you eliminate a possible answer, the odds are still 3-1 against you. I don't like those odds. And I know that statistics don't work neatly. And by the way, how many of these questions do you anticipate guessing on where you just eliminate one? If it's enough for the law of large numbers to come into effect, you should not be taking this test. You're definitely not prepared because that's too much guessing. Let's take a look. What we coach at Straight A Academy is we would like to see you 100% confidently eliminate 2 options. If, for example, it's a math question having to do with slope, and you could tell that it's a positive slope. Positive slope goes up to the right. And you look at your options, and 2 of the slopes show the line going down to the right. Those are negative slope. That cannot be the answer. You can eliminate those 2 100% confidently, Now, the risk reward is a little bit better. The odds are 2 to 1 against you, but we can use some logic and we can use some gut instinct. And at this point, we're going to recommend that you consider taking an educated guess. We want to be aggressive. We want to go get that point. And by the way, whether it's the first problem or the last problem, it's only 1 point. We want that point, but we don't want to guess just again, even though I eliminated 2, we don't want to guess just, randomly. We want to bring your intellect to bear. We want to try to make an educated guess. So what we're going to coach is if you can eliminate 2, if you have any gut instinct or if there's any kind of a clue whatsoever, we want to coach you to consider going for it. If you decide to leave it blank, I won't get on your case too much. Even now, if you've eliminated 2, if you decide not to guess, I'll understand. But I want you to be aggressive. I want you to look for an excuse, any excuse to take an educated guess. Finally, what if we eliminate 3 and we're down to, I know it has to be one of these 2, A or B, B or C, whatever. It has to be one of these 2, but I'm a little iffy as to which one it is. Well, anytime you narrow it down to 50-50, the risk reward is so great in your favor, you must take a guess. If you don't guess, I will show up at your test and smack you because the odds are that much in your favor. You've got to take a shot when it's 50-50, even if you don't have a clue, even if it's a total random flip of the coin. Okay? So, quick review. In order to guess, educated guess, Straight A Academy says if you eliminate 1, that's not good enough. If you eliminate 2, that's good enough. And you don't have to. If you're still totally stumped, if it's for example in the vocabulary section, and you have 3 vocabulary words, you have no clue what they mean. You've tried to apply some of our strategies of looking at root words, prefixes and suffixes, and you still have no clue, you can leave it blank. But I'd rather you give it a shot. I'd rather you go with your gut. I'd rather you look for a clue. And then finally, if you narrow it down to 2, you must guess. So that's our strategy for the SAT, how to maximize the points that you earn versus the penalties against you for wrong answers. Good luck.